What is up, Ivy Leaguers? Listen, we have a banger of a video for you today. As always, I'm your host, Ivy Taylor, doing everything here. We got the camera, we got Mike, we've got everything. Let's talk about it, and we have got to talk about the NBA Finals, okay? NBA Finals are upon us, but of course, before we can talk about the finals, we have to talk about these conference finals, the semifinals, all right? So let's dive right into one side, all right? We had New York Knicks taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Ugh. And listen, this was not an exciting series at all. And yes, you can hear my sarcasm, okay? The New York Knicks dominated this series, okay? It felt like Jalen Brunson was the man. New York City was going wild. You had Celeb Row was all crazy. Listen, the Cavaliers had a great season. They have some good players. Donovan Mitchell played really well, but nobody else on the Cavaliers did. It was just a really pathetic showing from them. I mean, in Game 3, it felt like, look, when I get it when you're down 3-0 and you're trying to play a Game 4 to avoid being swept. But in Game 3, Cleveland, I saw a clip. Cleveland was down like, I think it was 8 points, something like that. And they just stopped playing defense. And it's like, you can't give up. And there were only like 3 minutes left. Like, and you're down 8 points, you can come back. That is not an insurmountable deficit. I've seen people come back down 8 with 30 seconds left. So Cleveland just quit. Cleveland quit in the series as soon as they went down 2-0, and New York took advantage of it. Plain and simple. New York took advantage of it, and also, I mean, no discredit to New York. New York played a great series. I mean, I think Jalen Brunson looked prime. He looked very, very good. Karl-Anthony Towns looked really just down the roster of New York Knicks, they all looked really, really solid. And you hope that they can carry that momentum into the finals. I mean, they swept the Cavaliers. I mean, it's not easy to sweep any team in the NBA, okay? And they swept a good Cavaliers team that just, like I said earlier, the Cavaliers just quit in it. We do got to discuss New York City's craziness that they've been throwing for the Knicks. Because look, it has been 27 years since the New York Knicks have made it to the NBA Finals. 27 years is a long time, all right? And New York celebrated like we knew they would celebrate. Let's just say it was quite a party on 7th Avenue. That's what I saw. I mean, I wish I was there because, I would have been with them on the subway rooftop, sweeping with the brooms because they swept. And it was chaos. It was pure chaos. Look up if you get a chance, if you haven't already seen. If not, we'll play it. The streets of New York were insane. I mean, it was like Gotham City there for a minute. But that was only them making the NBA Final. What's going to happen if hypothetically the New York Knicks win this NBA Finals? It's going to be pandemonium. I mean, I posted an Instagram reel the other day where I was like, no one knows. The New York's infrastructure is not ready for that. And that's saying something. Like, the NYPD won't be able to contain what's coming if the New York Knicks win the NBA Finals. I mean, it would be insane. I mean, I'd love to see it. The only issue is I have to go to New York here in like July, and I don't think by July New York would have recovered from the pandemonium that would take place if the New York Knicks won this NBA Finals. Now, that's New York. That's the East. So New York is in the finals. But who are they facing? And they are facing either the Oklahoma City Thunder or the San Antonio Spurs. And we know the winner, but let's break down this series, okay? The Eastern Conference Final was really lame, and it was a 4-0 sweep by New York. The Western Conference Finals was a Game 7, a 7-game series. It was just brutal games. I mean, it felt like you didn't know who was going to win because the Spurs would win one by double digits, and then the next night, the Thunder would win one by double digits. I mean, no one knew what was going to happen in that Game 7. But boy, did that Game 7 deliver. I mean, that Game 7 was wild. You had Victor Wembanyama going nuts. You had Shea Gilgeous-Alexander throwing up threes. I mean, it was crazy. Now, the Spurs ended up winning in a thriller, like I said. It was a thriller. No pun intended. Michael Jackson movie just came out. Thriller. Oh, that's kind of cool. Anyway, it was a thriller. And Wemby solidified himself as, I think, the best player in the NBA right now. And that is a bold take, I know. Y'all are going to give me heat. Give me all the heat. Wemby is just solidified himself as the best player in the NBA with that performance against the Spurs in that whole series. I mean, the numbers that this guy put up are out of this world. I mean, they haven't been done. Just put it that way. They have not been done. The defensive stats, I mean, this guy was a menace on defense. He's a menace on offense. I mean, he just single-handedly picked apart the Spurs, or the Thunder on defense. I mean, and listen, I think the Spurs would have won this series in 5 had it not been for the foul calls and the egregious flopping from the Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, it is bad. It got to a point where I was like, someone needs to call up Adam Silver and just, like, seriously have a conversation with the commissioner of the NBA. Because it was bad, y'all. Like, it was really horrible foul calling on the Spurs. And it was so one-sided. Like, it was clearly benefiting the Thunder. And it was like, why? Like, why are we doing this? This is a chance to go to the NBA Finals. And I think had the Thunder won, there would have been outrage among NBA fans, among analysts such as myself. But the Spurs won. The Spurs made it clear that they were the better team in this series. I mean, they clearly had a game plan going into the series, and they executed that plan to perfection. It was a success. And, like, props to Victor Wembanyama. The guy's a competitor, right? Here's why I like Victor Wembanyama. He's not when he came into the league, I mean, I knew, people were calling him the next great player. I wasn't hot on him. I mean, I knew he was great, but I was just like, I don't like this guy. I really like this guy now because of the person he is. Victor Wembanyama is a competitor. That is what I like to see. I mean, the emotion that he shows, he cares about winning. He doesn't just care about his stats, all right? He cares about winning the title, and he shows it. He's not all acting all nonchalant like, oh, yeah, I play basketball. I'm nonchalant. No! The guy is up here. I mean, last night he was, he was screaming. He was so pumped. He was going nuts. Like, that is what athletes do. That is what a competitor does. He shows the emotion. I feel like so many athletes nowadays are so focused on being all, like, yeah, I'm cool. Like, no. The emotion is the good. That's why we love sports. That is why fans around the world love sports. And that's why competitors are good. Competition is great. It sparks that emotion. And Victor Wembanyama shows that emotion. And that's why I love him. I think he's a great example. He's a great role model for people of this generation that want to try and act all cool. Like, no, it's okay to show emotion on the basketball court. Sometimes, there's such thing as showing too much emotion, as Draymond Green shows. But that is what it means to be a competitor, and that is why the Spurs, really Wemby, but that is why I'm really hot on this team. I think this team is really cool. So yeah, that's our finals matchup. Spurs, Knicks. So let's break it down, all right? This is a series that is the fan engagement with this series will be great. Both teams have very, very, very strong and passionate fan bases. Both teams are hot, but for different reasons. Because, the Knicks have won, I think, 11 straight playoff games. But the Spurs are riding a huge momentum of a Game 7. The Knicks have rest, though. The Knicks have, been off for will have been off a week or two more than the Spurs will have. So that provides a level of rest for the Knicks, but does it also provide a level of rust, Because the Spurs have been playing, every other day. And they've gotten used to that kind of cycle. So now they're kind of, look, we're ready. We are in high gear, whereas the Knicks have had time off, so maybe they need to take a game to get back to playing at that level that they were. That's all hypothetical. Maybe that's not true, but that's just a hypothetical scenario. But then you also look at, Mitchell Robinson, a big time center for the Knicks. He broke his pinky or something like that, and not in a game. Like it was, I think the news came out 2 or 3 days ago that he broke his pinky, and that's serious because he's going to be one of those guys that's going to be guarding Victor Wembanyama, and I don't know when he'll be able to return, if he'll be able to return. So that's one of those things that you have to look at as that's not good for the Knicks. But then you look at the fact that the Knicks have much more depth than the Spurs, and I think that's something that'll play a big role in it. Especially if this game goes into 5, 6, 7 games, which everyone's assuming it will. So I think I would be prepared to see a 6 or a 7 game series because both teams have the ability to get hot and both teams have the ability to really win home games due to the fan aspect of it. So it's difficult to say which team's going to come out on top with the series. I think the Spurs take game 1. Here, we'll go game by game. I think that makes sense. I think the Spurs take game 1 because it's home for the Spurs. It goes 2 games in San Antonio, 2 games in New York, 1 game in San Antonio, 1 game in New York, and then 1 game in San Antonio. I think Spurs take game 1. I think the Knicks steal game 2. All right, I think the Knicks steal game 2, and then I think the Knicks take game 3. So I think the Knicks go up 2-1. And then I think Spurs come back and tie it 2-2. And then I think the Spurs go up 3-2. And then I think New York ties it back at 3-3. I think this will be a Game 7 NBA Finals. And in that Game 7, I think that it's so hard to pick against Victor Wembanyama and just his playoff production. I mean, it's not outrageous for the guy to score 43 points. It's not. It's so hard to pick against them in this final series. But I think in that hypothetical Game 7 that I just laid out, I think that it would be in San Antonio. I just find it hard to see the Spurs losing that. I do. I really do. Now, that's not an official pick, and we'll relay official picks on Instagram and YouTube Shorts, but it's just so hard to pick against the Spurs right now because they are really on a hot streak. But I say that to say I have a lot of faith in the New York Knicks. I have a lot of faith in Jalen Brunson. I also have a lot of faith in the fan base behind New York. I really do think like the Knicks have such a build-up right now. Like, first time in 27 years. They just have so much behind them. They've been, like, lifted up onto this pedestal. Sorry. They've been lifted up onto this super high pedestal. And it's hard for them to get off of it. So I really like their chances. Do I think they win? It's just, like I said, it's so hard to pick against the Spurs right now. After seeing them beat OKC like they did. So we'll leave that Game 7 up for grabs. Tell you what. But I think this is a 7-game series regardless. I really do. I think it's a 7-game series. And I think I just love what the Spurs are doing right now. But I also think New York, like I said, New York has so much riding for them. So much behind them. That it's hard to pick against New York as well. So I think, like I said, all right, I laid it out. The series goes to 7. All right, I think it'll be a 7-game NBA Finals. Whoever takes that Game 7, that's up for grabs. Still to be determined. I think Victor Wembanyama probably scores 40 points at least once in this series, if not twice. I think that Jalen Brunson goes off for 35 on a random night. I mean, this is a finals with superstars that can score so much and just so much offensive production, but also a lot of defensive production. So it's really going to be fun to watch. I cannot wait to watch it. Y'all better stay tuned. Keep hitting me up. We're going to be here covering it. And, hit that like and subscribe button. That's all I got for you today. Until next time, Ivy Leaguers. Let's do it. See ya.